Here's a specific example of a comparison using works that share a common subject. They're about the same thing. But what are the results from each creator's point of view? Here are the two works. Very handy. Happen to have these sitting on my mantle. The first one is a little blue sleeping cat done by the Impressionist artist Claude Monet. This wasn't intended as a real big, huge, significant work of art. It's a tiny little cat. You can see how small it is. He just created these, I guess, in an idle moment. Here's this little blue cat. The common subject, as you might have guessed, is cats. Here is a reproduction of an Egyptian cat. This little statue and many like it have been found in Egyptian tombs in the various dynasties thousands of years ago. And they would have accompanied a soul, perhaps, to its journey to the afterlife. Take your cat with you. So we have these two works of art. One composed originally in about 800 BC, and this one in the late 1800s of the Common Era. So we have two works with a common subject. How can I compare them? Here I go. This one has a much lower plane. They're both three-dimensional. This one is very horizontal. This one is constructed in a vertical plane. This one has a form that is rather rectilinear. It's a flat form. This one actually has the elements of a cylinder. From all sides we can see that it rises. All right. This one has a lovely mottled blue color. This one is stark black. I believe it was originally made of onyx, which is a black element. On this one, the various lines denoting the cat's eyes and even the paws are rather blurry. And in fact, the general shapes of these lines, the shapes within this little cat, are all rounded and curved. It makes rather a C shape around there. And its little arms reflect the shapes of the tail. Its front legs reflect that same C shape. This cat, by contrast, uses lots of vertical lines. It portrays perhaps an element of vigilance. All of these vertical lines. And I notice that its tail is coiled nicely around its feet. This one has its tail coiled around its backside, perhaps for warmth. To compare these two further, I could say, well, they're both about cats. What is the creator trying to say in this one, the Monet? It seems to me Monet is capturing a reflection of a cat completely relaxed and asleep, or at least about to sleep. That lovely bonelessness that cats get when they're really sacked out for a nap. Probably if we looked further around my house, we'd find two cats doing exactly the same thing. This cat, however, is an alert cat. It's watching something. It's self-contained, perhaps. It's not relaxed. It doesn't look particularly fierce, but it's vigilant. So we have a comparison of sleepy relaxation and perhaps interested vigilance. I might be pushing it a little bit with interested. It's kind of hard to tell. What are the different points of view of these creators of these works? Monet saying, look, cats sleep and they relax, and this is what it's like. I'm showing you the essence of cat relaxation. Here, the unknown creator of this work is perhaps also making a commentary on the habits of cats. Perhaps he's saying, look, I've seen a cat sitting there vigilant, with its tail coiled around its feet, looking outward across the desert sands of Egypt. What is my own point of view? Well, I can honestly say that I have a cat that does this a lot. And I have a cat that also does this and happens to also be the same color. And seems to be fond of sitting in this same pose. So my point of view is that cats haven't changed a whole lot over the last couple thousand years. Here's something to keep in mind when you're considering your own point of view, and that's the challenge to go deeper. For example, I love cats. I hate cats. Well, I love them. I hate them. Love them. Hate them. Love them. Wait a second, stop. Okay, you say you love cats. What do you love about them? I love that they're furry. And when they sleep on your lap and they purr, it makes me happy. It makes me feel wanted. It makes me feel loved. Okay? So if you say you hate cats, what do you hate about them? Well, I hate that they shed on every white piece of clothing that I own. And that they sharpen their claws in the end of the couch. My brand new couch. I hate that. That's why I hate cats. I'm not saying you should hate cats, because you know what? I kind of like cats. But I can tell you why. Proof versus deduction. When we're considering works in the arts, where a goal, a subject, or a point of view is only inferred rather than demonstrated overtly. Here's an example. I have one sock. Where's my other sock? I need my other sock. It's missing. I don't know where it is. I can't find it anywhere. I have no idea, although I suspect that it was taken by my cat, Quizzy. I can deduce that Quizzy took it. There seem to be some extra cat hairs on this particular sock that's left, and oh look, there's some claw marks. I think I can deduce that Quizzy took my other sock. Deducing is not the same, however, as proving. For many of our works of arts, we're going to have to rely on deduction. By examining the work itself and finding the evidence, like claw marks or cat hair, that would tell us this is the most likely outcome of this deduction. If I want proof, that's something a little more specific. Proof for a work of art might be a letter that the artist wrote to a friend about the work of art, or an interview with a musician. When I created this symphony, here's what I was thinking. Or even a notation on the work of art itself by the artist. Those are pretty rare. In this case, if I look more closely, I guess I have proof after all.